Salutations, listeners! It's been a while since my last broadcast, but you know how it is. You make a timely investment in a little royal project, and before you know it, there goes your entire afternoon for the next 6 months. And the airways have been dreadfully dull lately, haven't they? But fear not, for a revolution is at hand. For your entertainment pleasure, I am more than happy to announce the newest addition to Hell's once feckless excuse for entertainment, my humble little radio show, Dizzy with a Demon. This timeless broadcast will serve as our cozy little killing floor, where I shall be bringing you the freshest faces in Pentagram City for a momentary interview before moving on to exciting questions from you. Yes, you, the listeners. Now, on to business, presenting our first guest, Her Royal Highness herself, Princess Charlie Morningstar.
Oh my gosh, Alastor! It's such an honor to be here on your show. Thank you.
Of course, Your Highness. Anything for the wonderful proprietor of the Hazbin Hotel. Now, while I'm certain our audience is familiar with you, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our eager listeners?
Oh, of course. Well, hi. My name is Charlie Morningstar, and you know me as the Princess of Hell. And of course, while that is so important as it comes with many, many duties,
as I'm sure it does, yes,
I'm here to talk about an amazing passion project of mine, the Hazbin Hotel. Now, the Hazbin Hotel is just my little plan to... What's that noise?
Nothing to worry your darling little head about, Your Highness. These old transceivers do get a little bit finicky at times, but certainly no cause for alarm. Please, do continue.
Well, as everyone knows, the extermination is a hard time for all of us. But what if we didn't have to worry about being cold every year? Simply joining the Hazbin...
Oh, Alastor! You really thought you could start some already washed-up radio show? Damn, it's only been, 5 minutes? And your views are shit!
Well, that's a shame. Somehow we've managed to get vermin chewing on the wires. If you don't mind, old chum, I'm afraid the spot for our special guest has already been filled.
Oh, don't act so high and mighty when you don't even have a leg to stand on, you period drama has-been. I'm pulling the plug on this shitty radio show.
So you say, but do try. Every good show needs a comedy break every now and then to keep the levity. Wouldn't you agree?
You little shit.
Hey, Alastor? Is everything okay?
Oh, nothing you need concern yourself with, Your Highness. Just a tiny, insignificant hiccup. It's bound to blow over soon enough, or blow up, as the case very well may be.
I'm not gonna fucking blow up, you asswipe. I'm gonna fucking nuke your goddamn shitty podcast. Just because you think you can ignore me doesn't mean I can't take care of these fucking airwaves you're coasting on. Hey, wait, hold on. What's happening? Alastor! Alastor, don't think you've seen the last of me, you little ancient shit!
What's going on?
There. Didn't I tell you? Now, where were we? Yes. Back to the interview before we were so rudely interrupted. You were saying something about joining the hotel, even though it really is nothing more an exercise in futility at this point.
Alastor, is he really gone?
for now. But I like to think of him like a rather persistent rash, embarrassing and hard to completely eliminate, but he should be out of our hair for the moment, at least for the rest of this broadcast.
Well, if you say so. Now, about the hotel. So, at my hotel, sinners can...
And that's about all the time we have for today's royal interview.
Wait, what?
Time for a commercial break to really jazz things up.
Hold on, Alastor. I really wanted to talk about the hotel. Alastor!
Welcome back to our show, Dizzy with a Demon. I'm your reputable host, Alastor, and with me is our guest, our tenacious princess of hell, Charlie Morningstar. And now, we turn to the segment I'm sure you've been waiting for, where we answer some tantalizing questions and solve conundrums sent in by you, our lovely listeners. Charlie, my dear, you love helping people, don't you? This will be the perfect opportunity to put that inane fixation to good use.
Well, if people need our help... All right, I'll do it.
There's a good girl. Our first question comes from an unknown sender in Imp City who says, bacon cheeseburger and a large side of fries. Apologies, my good man, but this isn't McDonald's.
Maybe Vox was right about you not having good viewership.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you say that. Our first real letter is from Mary. Dear Alastor, my husband, Joseph, isn't that quaint? I've been going through a very tough divorce.
Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that, Mary.
It was extremely emotional between the two of us. I was pretty sure Joseph was the love of my life. We had been together for almost 10 years. While most of the divorce proceedings have been pretty amicable, there is one issue Joseph and I have an issue with. Who will take custody of our 5-year-old golden retriever, Jesus? We got Jesus when he was a puppy while we were married and paid for him using our joint bank account, so there is no clear-cut owner. The problem is, I am moving back into my parents' house, which is almost 5 hours away from where I live now. Joseph and I both do not want to have to drive 5 hours to and from in order to pick up Jesus. If we decided to do joint custody, of course. Do you have any better ideas for solving this problem? Sincerely yours, Mary.
Oh, this is hard. I'm sure both you and Joseph love Jesus very, very much.
Well, if you want my opinion, my dear, and I assume Mary does, given how she took the time to send this doozy of a question in, the answer is actually quite simple.
Wait, it is?
Cut Jesus in half.
Alastor! That's a horrible idea.
An equal split, 50-50, right down the middle. That way both parents get equal custody and no one is excluded. It's the fairest and most obvious solution. And we do want to be fair, don't we, Charlie?
Well, yes, but...
Next question.
Don't I at least get an opinion on...
Our next question comes from Slender Dragon. What do you think about dragons, Charlie?
Oh, well, I think they're...
Splendid. It's always such a pleasure to hear the opinion of the Princess of Hell herself. But let's get to the question at hand, shall we? Desperate sinners need their problems solved. Dear Alastor, I lost someone dear to me, and I am simply moving forward. My whole body feels in pain, and I am aware that it is because of my grief, but no matter how much I do stuff to vent out my feelings, it seems stuck inside of me. How can I get out of this feeling and keep moving forward?
Say, Alastor, this seems like a really, sensitive question.
Indeed it does.
Right, one that we should handle with a little delicacy, a little care.
Why, Your Highness, I couldn't agree more, which is why I believe we should leave this delicate little problem up to you.
Me? Well, if you say so. Grief is different for everyone. Some people need more time than others to process it, so forcing it along is probably not a good idea. I'm sure that special person is still looking out for you and probably would want you to live the best life you can, even if they aren't with you right now. So, what I guess I'm trying to say is... Alastor? What are you doing?
Oh, this? Nothing serious. Something to pass the time.
It looks like you're building a tower of cards.
And it's marvelous, isn't it? Listen, Charlie, people are here to be entertained, not to be dragged down by the problems of other sinners. But, if I must, Slender Dragon, darling, if you want some real advice, just live your life as you please. Happiness will follow, and so will that wandering soul you miss so much. Time heals all wounds, after all. We barely have enough time in one day to wallow in what was, let alone stew in our own misery.
I guess so.
Thankfully, we still have time for one more question. So, dear Alastor, my name is Void, and I want to know how you would train a demon how to be an overlord. They would always be below you in terms of power, obviously. If yes, would you train me to be an overlord?
An overlord?
Be an overlord.
Oh, well, that's not really something I've got experience with, but maybe you have some advice for them. Alastor?
To be perfectly frank, my dear, I wouldn't train you to do anything. But if we really would have to start somewhere, I'd start on your spelling. Typographical errors are just absolutely sloppy work, and we can't have that. But honestly, do you really think I'd let another overlord with a V in their name run around no matter their place in the figurative ladder of power? What would the people think? You might fall in the wrong company, and then where would we be?
Yeah.
And that is all the time we have for today, my dear listeners.
Oh, wait, Alastor! This radio show was supposed to be my chance to talk more about the hotel!
Well, I suppose we could go into overtime if you're willing to make a deal with me.
Huh? Another one?
Alastor! Don't you dare!
Well, that's a shame. Seems your little friend decided to step in at just the most inopportune time.
Vaggie!
Charlie, I have been looking all over for you. You told me you were going to be on a talk show, but not this kind of talk show.
And what kind do you mean?
A bad one.
Hmm.
Come on, Charlie. Anything Alastor wants can't be good news.
Well, I suppose that truly does mean that our lovely show has come to its conclusion. I'm Alastor, and this is my guest,
Charlie Morningstar!
And this has been Dizzy with a Demon. Until next time, my good friends.
Goodbye! Vaggie, say goodbye!
Bye.
You thought you could get rid of me that easily? I think not. But